Hi guys, welcome to my page. My name is Deborah Azima, but I like to be called Debbie Debs. Anyone you want to call me, it's fine by me. As the topic suggests, I would like to share my best experience pregnancy journey with you guys, and I hope you get blessed from it. Yeah. So, for context, I am 6 months postpartum. I have the amazing baby boy, Kairos Paul, and he is growing beautifully to the glory of God. Yeah, so where do I start from? Okay, so I got married in 2020, December 2020. So I'm into my third year now, like what, 2 years? Yeah. Prior to when we got married, my husband and I decided that we were not ready to have a child. That's wild, right? Well, that was just our decision. Yeah, we just wanted to enjoy our time together, enjoy our space, um, not really get to know each other more. Yeah, because we dated for like 4 years before we got married. Yeah, so we've been 6 years, or right now we are 6 years together. Anyway, so we just wanted to wait because we know that, or we knew that having a child was going to be like a game changer. It is a game changer. Like my life is not the same. Our lives are not the same anymore. Anyway, that's that. Prior to when we got married, we had a conversation about children, and we knew we're not ready for kids. At least in the first, let's say, 2 3 years of marriage. So just now that I was just supposed to be trying to get pregnant, like it was in my power. Anyway, so in 2021, yeah, he noticed that my period wasn't regular. Yeah. I think about maybe March or April, it was like a concern for him because I didn't see my period for like maybe 2 months, and he was worried. He was like, "What's wrong with this girl that I just got married to?" Anyways, I told him, "Guy, just calm down. This is not the first time it's happening." So I started giving him a history, and to go back, I remember in my 100 level, this is the first time I remember my period missing. 100 level in school, I just got into University of Ibadan, pharmacy students and everything. And then I realized that I didn't see my period for 6 months. Well, I'm wiser now, but then I just didn't think it was anything. I wasn't doing anything, so I just felt it was one of those things. And then Google was my best friend, so I saw that it could have been as a result of stress. Well, I was just moving into a new environment and settling in. It was bound to happen. Anyways, I didn't pay my irregular periods any attention till 2021 when my husband found out, and he was kind of shocked, and he told me to check myself. So I went to the hospital. I booked a time with my gynecologist, and I did hormonal profile, and I found out that my hormones were okay, but she couldn't really pinpoint why my periods were irregular. And she didn't diagnose me of any hormonal issues. So I was okay, but just that my period were irregular. So she asked if we were planning for a child, and my answer was big fat no. We were not ready, we're not planning, we're taking every necessary precautions. And then she was like, no problem, that if we start planning for a child, and in the next 1 year, when we start planning, I don't have a child, then I should come back, then it will surely be probably an hormonal issue, or she will check further. And I was like, okay, no problem. I went home rejoicing. I told my husband that this was what the doctor said, and he said, okay, let's just watch it. So but I just decided to start taking some supplements, and I don't know, I just boosted my energy and whatever. It's not as if we were trying, it's just for the period to be consistent. And I think it became consistent in July. So July, August, September, I saw my period full. And then in October, it had disappeared again. And I thought it was one of those things I just like I swept it under the carpet. It's none of my concern. I went by my life, living the baby girl soft life. Anyway, so in November, early November, I remember having a conversation with one of my colleagues, and we're just talking and gisting, and I don't even know what happened, but or what we're talking about, and then motion sickness came to play. Yeah, because part of our job description is we travel a lot, so I'm almost always on the road. And I was just telling her that I noticed that I started having lots of motion sickness, and I've been chewing gum to stop it. And she, on the other hand, said, me too, the same thing. No, my one is always too much. It comes with headache, blah, blah. I was like, well, it's one of those things that will get past this. So I just forgot about the conversation till I went for a friend's birthday party in November. I think November 14th, if I can remember. It was a Sunday, and we were served the juiciest turkey, and I couldn't eat it. I was like, what's wrong with me? That I ate the rice, the plantain, the salad, but I couldn't eat the turkey. I was like, okay, I wrapped it. I said I must take it home to eat. But one of my friends there, she knows herself. She was like that. I should go and check myself. Like anything could have happened. And I was like, nah, it's not possible. Like, anyways, I went home, and I was just in bed. My husband wasn't home that day. When he got back from work the next day, and I told him, I told him to get pregnancy test strip on his way back from work, and I think he gave me. It was like a Monday. I didn't. I know I didn't check that day. I think I checked it on Tuesday and Wednesday, even on Thursday. I can't remember. So I checked the day I checked in the morning, and I looked at the strip and I said I was pregnant. I was like, how could this have been? How? How? Like how? I told my husband, and we froze, like we were shocked. We're like, nah, let's go to the hospital. So that day, I think the afternoon or in the evening, went to the hospital, and he confirmed that we were pregnant. But I was carrying the child. We were pregnant. And like, how? When I was not trying to calculate, and then the test results read 8 weeks gone. And I'm like, okay, when did this happen? How? When? We were like, how? How? I froze. I didn't know what to do because I wasn't ready. Three things. One, I wasn't ready for a pregnancy. Two, for the longest of times, I've had this phobia for pregnancy. Forgetting what they call it, but there's a name, there's a term. I've had this phobia for pregnancy. I just felt like I couldn't carry a baby. Yeah, because I see myself as very fragile. Yeah, even if I have some energy, I don't like any form of pain. Yeah, so all the negative um emotions that surround pregnancy, I wasn't ready for it. Like I just thought my body couldn't handle it. Then three, I wasn't in the mood for labor. Like I don't know. I just wasn't in, like I couldn't picture myself going into labor. They say it's very painful. This, that. Like those three things, like it just shaped my mind about pregnancy. Before we got married, I actually told my husband that I'm afraid to get pregnant, and I told him about my fears, but he just brushed it aside. So I froze. I was shocked. I don't know if I was angry, but I just didn't expect it. I didn't know the emotions to feel. My husband just held me, and he was like, "Well, God has given it to us. How it happened, well, we know the act, but how it came across is not by having all the sex in the world. Yeah, God's hand was probably being involved, or rather, God's hand was involved, and it was His time for me to take in. It was His time for me to get pregnant, and I got pregnant without even knowing. Yeah, and during that period, like I partied the life out of my body. Not exactly party, but then I was always attending some games night, and all these games nights when you feel something, you take shots. Like I was taking shots back to back to back every Friday. And all my mind was like, I've been drinking. How come he's still there? Or the baby is still there? How come he's still there? I didn't even know anything. How? Like I didn't throw up one bit throughout. My first trimester went on without even me knowing. Like it was just I don't even know the words. Like reliving the moment right now. I just feel emotional. Anyway, so that's that. So that was mid November. So my pregnancy had already progressed 8 weeks. I didn't know anything was happening. I didn't throw up one bit. I didn't spit. I didn't have any negative emotion or any untowards emotion about pregnancy. The only thing I realized was that I had some food aversions, and it was just for protein. I couldn't eat chicken. I couldn't eat beef except it was fried. Normally, I don't like fried beef. So yeah, that was just it. I had energy. My skin was glowing. I was very fine. Like my tummy wasn't even coming out. I remember one incident where I was like, my tummy is growing, and let me start exercising back again. Well, I used to work out. And then I wore my waist trainer throughout that day and I exercised. I think I still have a scar from the waist trainer because it was too tight. I thought I was just fat. I think I wore that waist trainer for like 5 days straight up. I would have suffocated my child. Like I had no idea. I had no idea. Anyway, so first trimester went by, nothing. Second trimester, I had the burst of energy, went by, nothing. Then came third trimester. Apparently, I didn't have anything. No gestational diabetes, no preeclampsia, that's hypertension in pregnancy, nothing. I was like perfect. I took my vitamins, but I was just okay. I didn't have any aversions to perfume. I was like, when you say perfect pregnant woman, I was the definition of a perfect pregnant woman. So third trimester came, I think in my 34 or 36 weeks. Yeah. So I think I went for my last scan. Yeah, I was like, oh, I'm ready to pop by 38 weeks. I can even decide, oh, this. Induce me. Let me push and all. So I went for my last scan or my supposed final scan, and I saw that the baby hadn't turned. Like, I'm like, why are you comfortable, bro? Anyway, so the doctor asked if I wanted him to perform magic to turn the pregnancy. Like they'll turn my tummy and then his head is going to go down. I said, nah, I'm not ready for it. He now said, okay, like he doesn't advise it anyways, that I should just try and be doing some exercises. He told me one where I should put my head down and raise my leg up, blah blah blah. I should stay there for like how many minutes? I did the first 2, 3, 4 days. I was tired. I couldn't do anything. So I just resorted to my faith. And I remember the words I spoke to some of my friends in, I think, 2019. Yeah, where I told them that if at all I get pregnant, I am checking myself in for a CS. I am not going to feel any labor pain. I'm just going to go through with CS. And then that's when the words came back to me that I had always said I was going to do a CS. I remember even telling my mother-in-law one time on the phone that I'm not pushing you, I'm just going for CS. She was like, wait, let's progress. See, everything just came back to me. And I also remember telling a friend one time I told her to pray for me about the baby, and I specifically told her I wanted to give birth on July 1st. This was probably my second trimester, maybe. Oh yeah, my due date was supposedly on the 2nd of July. Yeah, so I just said, nah, I want to give birth July 1st. Yeah, because of my personal and selfish reasons. Anyway, so that was that. I did the exercise that the doctor told me, but the baby didn't still turn. I think I've digressed a bit. Anyways, so the baby didn't still turn, and I remembered that I had already said I was going to go in for a CS and I wasn't going to feel any labor pain. And that's what exactly happened to me. So the doctor told me to choose my dates, and I told him I wanted July 1st. And I said, no, it's too close to your due date. Choose something earlier. I said, no, don't worry. I wouldn't go into labor. I will give birth 1st of July. And I said, okay, if that's what you want, no problem. He wrote it down. And I went. For 2 weeks, I didn't do anything. I was just at home. I was also praying to God that I didn't want to go into labor. I didn't want to feel anything at all. So yeah, June 30th, I checked myself into the hospital and they did their normal procedure. I stopped eating, I think about 4 p.m. Yeah, I didn't eat anything throughout till I think for till the next day, even the next day, I didn't eat anything. Anyway, so I was wheeled into the theater. I didn't know what to expect. That was my first time in a theater, and yeah, that was even my first time taking a drip. I've never taken drip, like drip. I've never been admitted in the hospital. So that was my first time for basically almost everything. And then when it got to the time for the anesthesia, I froze because it was injection in my spinal cord. Like, how am I going to take it? Like, I was literally shaking. But the doctor just told me to relax. And then I said a prayer. And immediately he pierced my back. I started laughing. I was like, okay, what is going on? I just started laughing. Like, it averted the pain. Like, my pain threshold is like this. It just averted the pain. I started laughing. And there and then, I just started muttering, Holy Spirit, take control, have your way. Holy Spirit, take control from the beginning to of the pregnant of the the beginning of the delivery till the end of the delivery. I just started muttering, Holy Spirit, have your way, take control. Even when they brought him out, I didn't even know they were calling me. I was really just praying until they put him on my cheek. I just looked at him and then they took him out to clean. My husband and my grandma were outside. So yeah, that was it. On getting to the recovery ward, I was just there and you can imagine the pain I felt while on drip. I don't know if you guys have ever been admitted. It was my first time and I knew it was painful. So I can imagine the pain I would have gone through like during labor. Like I don't think I would have been able to handle it. So in as much as people think that giving birth vaginally is the way, any which way for the baby to come out, God can be in your story. Yeah, God was actually with me throughout my pregnancy. Like I think I spoke the word right before time that I was not going to have any what's the word? I wasn't going to have any complications during pregnancy. And well, I said I was going to give birth last year. I don't know how it happened, but probably God made it happen that way. Just so excited to share this. I don't know why I stole to this moment, but I feel that there's a word in season for someone. Yeah, and God can be in your story, whichever ways it's going. God is in your story. Yeah, so for anyone actually um expecting, for anyone looking for a child, for anyone actually pregnant right now, I just want to remind you that it is not um it's not by your power, it's not by your might, yeah, but it's by God's spirit. It's by when God says it's time, it's actually time for you. So don't be weary, don't feel sad or disappointed if things don't go according to your plan or according to your way. If it is God will, it is going to actually come to pass. Yeah. So thank you guys for listening. I hope I encouraged someone today. Yeah. Bye.